no idea.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they have some ducks over here in I guess down the street, like
Yeah.
right when you turn around the corner.
They're all on the street.
I think they might feed them. That's probably why.
Boom, 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 boom.
What's up, Sam Salinas? Thank
First
you for
one in the
joining.
house.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Yankee fans wilding at the game yesterday.
Yeah, going after that glove.
Yeah.
Rookie bets.
I saw the aftermath too, so we'll show the video. Jeff's going to be joining us right around 10:30 today. He had to push it out. Had a meeting's going long right now, so join us at 10:30. What's up, Chris Gonzalez? He said Freddie Freeman is a bad man. Goes, dang, late start. Matt Lerma. Bear County Social. He goes, what's Mike's excuse today?
The Ducks.
Banned for life. What's up, Tex-Mex Frank? So we also have Spurs versus OKC today. Wemby versus Chet. I don't think this is going to end well for Spurs, man. Oh, and we do have something else to talk about, too. They just released some of the ratings, right, for the NBA.
Yeah.
They're down bad, dude.
You know what? Let's get into that.
We're going to talk about that
Because I'm
I
going to tell you who spoke eloquently about this. It was President Obama about a week ago when he was interviewed by Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
He ridiculed Halliburton. Halliburton was trying to laugh it off. We need to get into that because I think a lot of what was said is well believed. It's not a political slant, dude. It's just it's a basketball fan talking about basketball.
Yeah. It's just, I think what's happening is that the NBA's gotten a little too greedy.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. It is wet and rainy outside. Joe, people asking the question, why were we a few minutes late today? Part of it was because your neighborhood has a bunch of ducks in it.
Yeah, there's a pond nearby, so the ducks like hanging out, and the people feed them, dude.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing.
So I'm driving out here, and it was already slow because of the rain and the slick roads, and I'm heading out here, and I get into your neighborhood, and I text you. I said, Joe, I'm like a minute away. And usually when I'm about a minute away, you start the clock, right?
Yeah.
But then I got stalled for what had to be about 3 or 4 minutes. I took photos, so I'll post them on the X. Bunch of ducks in the middle of the street, and all the cars stopped until they all decided to finally get onto the sidewalk. And then we looked at this one house. This house it has like 12 ducks in the middle of the yard.
Yeah.
And it stopped traffic literally. I don't know. They liked it because it was wet and rainy.
No, that neighbor feeds the ducks. That's why they hang out.
So we have a lot to get into today. You know, as Chris Gonzalez mentions in our YouTube stream. Thank you, by the way. Hit the like button already, man. Hit the like button early. 1,055 subscribers strong. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about the NBA. We have Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5 joining us in about 20 minutes to talk about the Spurs as we go off onto the road to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Jeff and I will review the first 3 games of the season for the Spurs. Spurs coming off a disastrous game against the Rockets, man. The Spurs came back out within 1 possession, but were down at 1 point by more than 20 points. We're going to talk about that. We'll get into Jeremy Sohan because apparently people got mad when I started posting stats online earlier last night. So we'll get into that. Fair or foul, was I being a hater? We'll get into that. NBA ratings are in, and they don't look good.
Yeah, they don't, man.
And you know what? Hate to say it, this is not a political thing because we don't talk politics here very often, but Obama called it last week. If you saw that interview with Tyrese Halliburton, the all-star point guard.
Yeah.
Everything that Obama said about what's wrong about the NBA is accurate. It's accurate. And what is the NBA going to do to change that? We already see right now Jimmy Butler not playing games, Joel Embiid not playing games. There's a lot going on in the NBA that sucks, and we need to talk about it. We'll get into some pop culture. I saw a bar in Austin,
yeah,
that is like a sports bar, right? It looks like you'd watch a bunch of sporting events there, right? You'd watch NBA, baseball, whatever the case may be, but they don't show sports.
Yeah.
It is an actual sports bar that doesn't show sports. So what exactly are they showing? We'll talk about that. And would you go with your date to a place like that? So lots to get into today. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Again, more than 1,050 subscribers strong. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. If you take part in our YouTube stream, you can leave a comment or two, kind of drives our conversation a bit. Don't forget to buy us a beer, buy us a coffee, or send us a super chat. That helps keep the show going, helps keep the equipment up and running, keeps the lights on here at Joe's Palace over here. Again, you can scan the QR code right there, buy us a beer, show us some love, and keep the show going. Also, if you know anybody who wants to sponsor the show, we have MCS General Contracting, Lockdown Spurs. We have myself who sponsor the show. If you know any small businesses out there who want to sponsor this show, let them know, hey, it's pretty affordable. We get some eyes on us, a lot of sports fans on us. You know, if you have any restaurants, any sports bars, any breweries, anything like that, let us know.
Yeah. And
we will go visit and give our pitch. Jeff Garcia will be on in about 15 minutes or so. Joe,
10:30.
Something happened this morning, Joe, I need to get into.
What happened?
So my daughter gets dropped off every morning, right? So my ex and I, we share custody of my daughter, but she goes to school in my neighborhood. So every morning at 7 a.m., my ex drops off my daughter at my house.
Yeah.
My daughter makes her way in, and typically my daughter doesn't like breakfast. She just says, I'll wait till lunch.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday she wanted Chick-fil-A, so I took her to Chick-fil-A. Today, I reached out to her and I said, Ava, are you hungry? Do you want me to go get you some breakfast? I don't have many groceries right now because I've been spending so much time with my girlfriend in the Houston area. So I haven't gone to HEB anytime recently, right? So I said, let's go get something. So there's a Delightful Donut, which is a great place. Is what is it called? Veteran-owned donut place. They do a very good job. We're walking out, and we're driving out of the parking lot, and we noticed that on Grossenbacher Road, there was a fender bender.
No.
It's raining, right?
Yeah.
Now, it didn't just happen. It had happened maybe 5 or 10 minutes before. And I see this guy, middle-aged guy, just yelling at this young kid.
Damn.
Just yelling at him. And the guy that's middle-aged is he looked like he works out a lot, right? He was very, very muscular kind of guy. And he is just wailing on this guy, not hitting on him, but just yelling at him.
Man.
The guy that hit him, the rear-ended him, was probably, I'm going to guesstimate 20 to 22 years old, right?
Yeah.
Scrawny kid in a hoodie. And the accident wasn't that bad. It was a fender bender. They probably were going 5 miles per hour, or maybe he just slid into him or whatever the case to be. Crap happens in the rain. But I stood there and I was thinking to myself, is this guy going to beat the living crap out of this guy? So I'm supposed to be turning onto the street. And instead of turning, I just stood there watching the entire time to make sure that kid wasn't going to get his ass handed to him. This guy is just yelling and yelling and yelling. Dude, crap happens, dude. Fender benders happen from time to time, and it sucks, right? You know what pissed me off about this guy who was threatening this guy, that was towering over this guy?
Yeah.
Wearing a shirt that says Jesus saves. So anyway, I stood there, parked. I put the car in park. No one was behind me to exit because Walgreens was closed. So I just stood there and I gave a look of I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And, I'll call the cops if I have to, or whatever the case. I'm not going to get out of the car. People have knives and guns and chainsaws and shit. I'm not going to do that. But I just stood there. I was there for about 45 seconds to a minute, just staring at the guy. And he kept, as he was yelling at the guy, he kept looking at me, And it's funny how just having a witness makes people settle the F down. Sith coming at us on our YouTube stream saying Mike parked and started promoting his life insurance policies. If I wasn't there, that kid was going to need one. Because I swear that guy was 10 seconds away from beating the crap out of that kid.
So you were intimidating to him?
No, you know what? I don't want to say that I was intimidating, Joe, but you know what was? Maybe my truck was.
No, bro.
I got a big truck now, Joe. I got a truck that says howdy. Got a big truck.
Oh, you heard it here first. Mike was intimidating. That's why the guy didn't do nothing.
But, I just stood there. The intimidating thing was I'm watching. There's a witness to all this, right? And that's the thing. If there's a witness, and it's just one of the things, man. But it's so funny, man. It's so funny because the guy is just wailing on the kid. And I'm there going, dude, settle the F down. Settle down. I saw the damage, Joe. He didn't crunch that car. It was the literal definition of a fender bender. Okay? Probably $600 to $1,000 worth of damage. No more, no less. And by the way, Joe, this guy whose car got hit wasn't even a nice car.
No.
It was like a 15-year-old sedan. Settle down.
Yeah, we got a $5 incoming super chat from the Drew Show. And he's saying the super chat meter is capped, bruh. I've donated several times since and still reads the same. Cap meter takes. That's why we watch.
Very, very nice, Drew. Thank
Mike
you
is
so much.
2-0 in fights. Yeah.
No, I want to know, but I was a witness.
Mike is 1-0.
Can I get a witness?
In street fights on Petrenko.
That's funny, dude.
God.
But Joe, have you ever seen that, Joe? Like people just wail on each other. My ex was brutally bad when it came to I'll tell a story. Well, and she probably doesn't want to hear the story.
Yeah.
But my ex was an awful, awful person with road rage. Right? And like I said, you can't do road rage in Texas too much. People have guns, right?
That's true.
So there was one.
You never know.
There was one time where somebody pulled a gun on her, right? Got out of the car. It happened on Culebra and 1604. My ex started road raging with this guy, yelling and blah blah blah. Because I'd seen her do it before.
Yeah.
That guy got out of his car and went up to her and tapped her window with a gun. Didn't point it at her, but was like, "Hey, settle the F down," right? Okay, first of all, we were married at the time. So I didn't take too kindly of that because she started freaking out and startled, right?
Yeah.
She took photos of his car. The photos of his car showed an ID of like a sticker of where he worked. He worked at Via Transit. I went down to Via, went up and down the parking lot, and I sat on his car, waiting for him to come out.
Oh my God.
Waiting for him to come out. Security came out, and I showed him the photos, told him the whole story, and I said, I want that MFer to come say that to me. He did that to my wife. Now again, she's my ex now.
Yeah.
But and he goes, "We're gonna call the cops." It's like, great, let's do that. Yeah. So I did not fight that guy because that guy. Oh my God! Did you ever talk about the guy at Pizza Hut? Joe.
Tall tale time, man.
Okay, so first of all, I'm refereeing my first basketball game tonight. I've got a varsity game between New Braunfels Canyon and O'Connor High School. It's girls basketball. I've got the JV and I've got the varsity game tonight. It's a scrimmage, doesn't count, but it's a scrimmage over at O'Connor. If you want to come yell at me, I'll be there from 5:30 to about 8. I was refereeing a game at Southwest High School, Joe, about 5 years ago. And I'm on Petrenko in 1604. And this guy, this idiot in this car, it's a Pizza Hut car, comes out and starts road raging people, and starts yelling and flicking people off and blah, 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 blah. And ultimately, he starts doing that to me. And I started yelling at him. I'm like, who the F is this guy? This Pizza Hut dude. The car says Pizza Hut delivery on it. What is he doing, right? So he starts yelling at me, whatever. So I yell back. And he starts talking, and the things coming out of his mouth were racial.
Yeah. Things
coming out. I mean, he was sexist, all that stuff that he was spewing out while delivering pizzas, right? 1604 Petrenko. I called the Petrenko, the Pizza Hut location, and I said, "This is what happens. You guys got to take care of this." And then we'll talk to him. And I was like, no. You fire his ass.
Yeah, you're trying to get people fired, man.
Some people deserve to get fired.
Going crazy over here.
Some people deserve to get fired, right? So anyway, I told him, I said, "Look, man," I said, we're going to see if this guy's still working there, because if he's still working there in 2 hours when I'm done with my basketball game, I'm going to come back. If he's still there, we're going to have a problem. I go referee at Southwest High School. I do my games. I come back. I asked for the manager. The manager was like, sir, we've taken care of it. I'm like, is he still working here? Yes. Where is he? And I saw the kid, dude. The kid was in the kitchen. And I said, motherfucker, come over here and tell me what you said to my face. Do you think he did that? No, they hit him in the freaking fridge. They hit him in the fridge. And I went and had a dramatic scene at the Pizza of Petrenko in 1604 saying, this is what this guy, that they allowed this guy to work here, even though he says racial shit and he does sexist shit and he road rages. And this dude right here, this manager right here, is putting up with it. I went and told every customer that.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to call the cops. And what did I say? Great. Do you know who I'm going to call? I'm going to call corporate. And guess what? The guy ended up getting fired.
Yeah.
Good times.
So you don't know. Maybe something wrong with them. You know, he could have had some type of disorder, mental problem or something.
Then don't hire him.
Dang.
You represent that company, dude. Don't hire him. Man. Good times. That was about 5 years ago. Anyway, we're going to talk sports today. No tall tale. Handle a fist and capping again. Allegedly, we do sports and pop culture. We're going to have Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5 on in the next 5 minutes or so. Joe, we were before the show started, you were talking about NBA ratings coming out. And the NBA ratings not looking good, huh?
No, this is what I saw right now on the X before the show started. And they're saying that viewership in the NBA has been declining. And it's showing right here that ESPN opening doubleheaders averaged just 1.6 million viewers, which was down 42% from 2023's debut of Wemby, right? Bucks versus 76ers had 1.71 million viewers, and that was down 2.55 million viewers for Celtics versus Knicks in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
The games are just seem like even the TNT's Thursday game
looking ahead of this
seeing
season.
a 29% decline. You know, ESPN's Friday game against the Pacers and the Knicks, 830,000 viewers, fewer than the college football game on ESPN.
Right.
You know, and I got a theory behind all this. You know, what's going on is it's corporate greed at the end of the day. So what's happening is that the NBA is nickel and diming everybody because, you know, the TV deals and whatnot, it's getting more expensive. So what's happening is that everybody's starting to get priced out now. I mean, things have gone up in price. Let's be honest. Groceries, gas, everything gets a little bit more expensive now. It's hard to live, you know, you're trying to make a living now. So something's got to give. And I think a lot of people are just opting not to go ahead and pay the streaming services that they have that include these sports packages. They're not watching these games because they're going to like their Stream East and all these other sites to watch the games for free. The NBA makes it hard for fans to watch these games. You have to go through all these loops to watch it if you live in different areas of the nation. I mean, at the end of the day, the guys are just watching it on Stream East, man.
But the fact of the matter is that streaming is just part of it. It's part of it, you know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter what sport. You know, if you watch ESPN, you can stream it on Hulu. If you're watching the Olympics, you have to go to Peacock, right? You have to go to all these different areas to
You know
watch
who
it.
does it right?
Amazon.
No, NFL, man. The NFL does it right because a lot of these games, they're free. You can watch them on your CBS affiliates. You can watch it on, you know, ABC for Monday Night Football, or you're going to be watching it on Fox.
But that's not the NFL's doing. That was bidding by those networks.
No doubt.
The second that those deals go done,
get
they're
paid.
done. The second they expire, those deals expire. You think NBC is going to re-up? Do you think CBS is going to re-up?
Probably not.
Probably not.
So
Because
like, Amazon
and
Peacock.
Peacock are going to take over. We saw an interview the other day, and I have it on my screen. This was an interview that former President Barack Obama had with Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers, and it was part of a podcast that was there. And Obama kind of eviscerated Tyrese Halliburton, and Halliburton thought he was being funny. Halliburton's laughing it off, but Obama was saying, "You know, your game's broken, right? You know the game's broken," and I think that that's part of the reason why the game is not as popular or not being viewed. I will say that probably the streaming services are an issue, and being priced out is a big deal. But what was being said in this whole conversation was You guys don't even try in the regular season. You guys don't even try in the All-Star game. The All-Star game is a big joke that you can't even watch it anymore. And now we're seeing players out there like we're seeing players out there like Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler missing time, and people are questioning, Joe, whether they're really hurt or not. You see Kawhi Leonard always hurt. Is he really hurt or not? People are being saved for the postseason. Joe, if we can go to 2 box real fast.
No.
Remember this, Joe. Where did all this start? It used to be that the regular season meant something. And you and I are old timers, right? We're in our 40s. We old timers. We go back and we look at games like, man, Magic and Larry and Dr. J and Moses Malone, Isaiah Thomas, Rodman. They cared about the regular season. They cared about the regular season.
Yeah.
Do you know when people stopped caring about the regular season? And this is, I was not even planning this conversation, Joe. I just thought about it. When Pop started resting his players, load management.
Oh, man. Well, he's the one that started it.
He started load management.
Yeah.
And it was for Kawhi. It was to save Tim, because Pop outright said around 2013, 2014, that the regular season didn't matter. Remember, they had those games on TNT against Miami, and it was being billed as like, the battle between the big three versus the other big three, or whatever the case may be.
And didn't play.
And he sat out Tim, Tony, and Manu.
Old. He had Tim Duncan going back. Remember, he was eating Chick-fil-A or something like that.
and all that stuff. That was the beginning of people having apathy towards the regular season. If you know that these players are being load managed, Joel Embiid this year, if I'm not mistaken, has said he's not going to play back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Imagine, dude, he would have been called a big old PUSSY if he said that in the 90s. That's what he would have been called. It all started back then. I'm not saying that's only Pop.
Yeah, it's
Steve Kerr started doing it, right? And then you saw the Lakers and LeBron taking some time off, and no back-to-backs, and Kawhi, and you can't even go to these games, and I will not buy tickets to a game unless it's the day of or the day before ever again.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure, is Wemby playing? Are the stars going to play? Would you go see a Lakers game if LeBron wasn't going to be playing?
Yeah, I mean,
no,
fans pay to see the better players play, but the advent of today's NBA, they sit players and whatnot. But I kind of disagree. I don't think it has to do with the way that the style of play or superstars sitting out. I think it just bottoms down to, the average Joe just having to pay so much money now to watch the game. It's ridiculous.
Christian Ochoa, that's a new name on our YouTube stream. Asking the question, do you think if the NBA lowered the amount of games, would they get rid of load management? Christian, welcome. You're now a new Necio as part of the Alamo City
I don't know if they
Sportscast.
would. I think you'd still have load management. Look at what happened with Kawhi. Kawhi not even playing because he's faking an injury.
The NBA is trying to fight this by saying, well, you can't win any awards. You can't get a Supermax contract unless you get, all NBA accolades or Defensive Player of the Year, MVP. You have to play at least 65 games. That's a big deal, right? But even still, if you're healthy, you could miss up to 17 games of load management by just simply saying, oh, I have a lower back issue. It's all nonsense. Christian, thank you for the question. I honestly don't think so. I think that the Spurs and the Warriors and the Heat of the 2010s all decided and basically uniformly told everybody that the regular season, in effect, does not matter. It doesn't. And now other sports are following suit. See that in baseball right now. Man, you can win. I mean, I remember back in the day, the Seattle Mariners won like 115 games, and they were bounced in the playoffs right away. So there's an issue when it comes to the ratings. The issue is because, as Joe mentioned, streaming services are making it more expensive. It's more expensive to have cable. People can't afford it as much. But the product also is not very good. It's not very good. It's 82 games and a lot of load management along the way. I think we have Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5 ready to go.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia is on the line right now. I'm going to go ahead and get his little thing ready to go here.
Oh, that's right. He has an intro.
Yeah, well, he's only got a
No,
couple
here we
minutes.
go.
He's
Dude,
only got a couple minutes. So
here
We were at the Spurs game the other day, and people were singing this song to him, to his face.
No, they weren't.
They sang it to his face.
No, they
God.
weren't.
Mike's exaggerating, Jeff.
Exaggerating big time.
We have a $10 super chat coming in that we'll talk about with Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5,
All
our
right.
good buddy. Let's hear it.
Wait up. I got one more thing to do. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and bring Jeff on. There's Jeff there.
Jeff's.
Of
Oh,
course.
my goodness.
Get it out of your system, guys.
Yeah,
Get it out of your system.
No Darkwing Duck. That's what he actually looks like, dude. That's what he actually looks like.
No. Yeah, the worst photo, too.
Here we
I
go.
can't stand that photo.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I'm telling you, man, everybody loves that jingle, man.
They do. Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5. We do have a $10 super chat that just came in a few minutes ago from Sam Salinas. Jeff, we're talking about the ratings from the NBA kind of dipping again this year. And Sam Salinas has a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Saying, stop ignoring the fact that talent has become crap and they charge more to watch. There are no new American superstars. Too many unworthy and not ready. One and done needs to end. This was the union's doing, end quote. Jeff, why do you think the ratings suck in the NBA these days?
Well, first of all, I think the season just began, right? We're just talking about just right now. The season just began. Give it time. Right now, it's being dominated by NFL, MLB. You know, I think that's kind of overshadowing the NBA right now. People don't really tune in till Christmas. Jimenez, don't they say the official start of the NBA season is Christmas?
Yeah,
So-
that's and then this year we have the NFL saying, well, heck with that, we're gonna have Christmas games. So
Yeah.
they usually give the Christmas holiday to the NBA, and they didn't this time.
Yeah, they did it. So, I mean, I think that's exactly why the numbers are dipping for TV viewership. But, you know, look, the thing with the NBA for me is that it is so predictable. Unlike the NFL or the MLB, you can pretty much already say, yeah, these 4 or 5 teams, 6 teams are going to be left standing, like about after the All-Star break. It's so predictable. There's no surprise. And it's not like the Spurs are going to come out and have a river parade this summer like that. So you could you can almost do it now. You could pencil in Minnesota, Denver, Boston, Miami. Seriously, and just go down the list. Dallas. Okay, those are their playoff guys.
Yeah,
Teams.
okay,
And
okay.
let's move on already.
OKC,
yeah.
is going to be another one of them. You know, you take a look at it, and so Samson is mentioning that there's no new American stars. I wonder if that's the thing, because back in the day,
Well, that might change soon.
talking about the number 1 draft pick in the 2025 draft. Is where we're a little
Yep.
super flag.
Super flag.
So this might be the 2020s might be a decade where there's no American that wins the MVP, because we've had Giannis, we've had Jokic, you know, Luka Doncic could get one, Wemby could get one down the road.
Yeah.
SGA is not American. There's a lot of really good players out there who are not American that are winning these awards. I don't know if that's something that people really hold true when it comes to it. Like, I don't know, man. They were saying that a lot of Anglo fans stopped watching back in the day because there wasn't a white superstar. And I guess the white superstars that there are now are European. You know, you got the Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic and whatnot. I don't know what it is. To me, I theorize, I don't know if you were on earlier, I theorize that it was the beginning of the end when it comes to the regular season mattering, was when Pop started doing the load management, started resting players when they were supposed to be on TNT and have like a battle between the Heat and the Spurs, you know, resting Duncan, saying that he's quote unquote old. And it's signaled to the rest of the league, because then the Warriors did it and then the Lakers did it. It's signaled to the rest of the league that the regular season really doesn't count. Doesn't matter.
Also too, I think the NBA has become politicized. You know, from Steve Kerr in his comments, Pop in his comments, why don't they say anything about China? You know, I think it's become very political as well. So I think that's turned off a lot of fans as well.
I agree, Jeff. I think a lot of the times people just want to watch sports as an outlet to get away from everything. And then
Yeah.
you try to get away from it. And then you have people or coaches and players giving you their political views. That's not why we're tuning in. We're not tuning in to give your political takes. We just want to see you go out there and play basketball. That's about it. But, things have changed now. And I theorize that the reason why a lot of the ratings are down is people just can't afford to stream the games anymore because they're getting nickel and dimed by these streaming services, and it's become too expensive, man.
It was like I was trying to watch the Yankees Dodgers yesterday, and I said, "Well, where do I watch this game?" I was so confused.
Yeah, I can watch. You could have watched it for free on Fox 29. They're the ones that are
right.
Well, the game on.
I don't have my my TV set up for antenna, so I said, "Okay, well, it's got to be on FS1. Nope, it got to be here. Nope. Oh, it's on the antenna, and I don't have an antenna hooked up." But there's just so many options now. I think it confuses people. But look, I think just sports overall, I think everybody's getting nickel or dime. NFL, Jimenez, what is it? YouTube TV or
Fubo,
the NFL Network or
the
FanDuel and this. Then you got NBA. It's NBA TV, NBA League Pass, Bally's or FanDuel now. Sorry. So just so many things. And is it weird, Joe? Do you predict that people will go back to cable, or you think cable's done?
I think cable's done. And the thing is that cutting the cord used to be cost effective. Not so much anymore. Now that all the streaming services are starting to come into their own, they're all vying for their position there to get their slice of the pie. And unfortunately, as they get in more of these regional sports networks, with the FanDuel and whatnot, your like AT&T, their direct TV stream that they have there. It's one of the most expensive because it includes, the regional sports packaging, a lot of sports that you can watch already with its, upper tier, mid tier packages. But it's like $150, $137. I'm like, that's more than cable, But unfortunately for cable, people just want to go ahead and have the ability to be able to watch the shows they watch when they want to. So that's why streaming is so popular now, because you can watch it, on your phone, a tablet, you can record it and then come back and watch it later. You have a lot of options, So, I mean, things are just getting so expensive nowadays. I think it's going to be one of these things where at the end of the day, if you're going to have to pick and choose as a consumer, how you're going to want to ingest your sports. And I got to tell you, and I've been telling everybody, I think the real reason why ratings are down across the board is probably not just with the NBA, probably going to be NFL and other sporting outlets out here. It's because the advent of the illegal streaming sites are taking over, man. How you watch your fights and all that kind of stuff. People aren't wanting to pay $89, $90, $100 to watch a fight. They don't want to have to pay all that extra money to watch a Spurs game or NBA game. So where are they going? They're going to the streamies.
Hey, I watch.
I watch Joe,
on TikTok.
Oh God, there you go.
Hey, Joe, I was going to ask you, how do these like streamy stuff like that? How do they get away with it? Like, why is it like how can they do that?
They have servers all over the world, man, and that's the thing. As soon as they shut one server down, it's like no me pasa nada, dude. They're like, hey, we'll be up in like 5 minutes, and they just turn the other server on, and it could be in another part of the world where the regulations aren't as strict as they are here in the States. So not much they can do. If they shut one site down, they're just gonna pop up again in a couple minutes because they already have everything planned out. So I mean, they're not gonna.
Well, how do they make money though? How do they make money?
Ads, dude. They sell ads, and that's how they're making their money. Because you're gonna click on a fight, and you have like 3-4 ads that pop up, and everybody's just clicking out of them. Well, they make their money. That's how they make money, by selling that ad space, and they kill them with quantity, not quality. When it comes to the people watching these illegal streams. I mean,
or how about this? People can just make more money. Talking to Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs.
Oh my goodness, Jimenez!
He's gonna show him the W2s.
Please tell me you're gonna clip that out and put it on X.
No, I am.
Dude,
hey, you missed. He was saying he was intimidating earlier.
I was working till 1 a.m. last night. I work 50, 60-hour weeks, man. So Just go make some more money. That's just life is better that way.
Man.
Talking to Jeff
Oh,
Garcia from
man.
Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5.
He's calling the people poor, Jeff. You heard it here first.
Spurs
Yeah,
take
yeah.
on the Oklahoma City Thunder today at 8:30. It's an ESPN show. Thunder favored by 12.5 points. Thunder are one of 3 teams in the NBA who are still undefeated, 3-0, 1-0 at home.
Yeah.
Spurs are 1-2. We've played the Rockets twice. Had a good game on Saturday against the Rockets. A bad game a couple of nights ago against the Rockets. Spurs came back within one possession, end up losing the game down the stretch. Any chance, Jeff, that the Spurs are going to win tonight's game against the Thunder, or at least keep it close? Because a spread of 12.5 points, that's a lot. In fact, out of all the games in the association, there's like a dozen games today. 12.5 points is the biggest spread between 2 teams.
Jimenez, you and I discussed this on today's Lockdown Spurs, which is already out. And I mentioned on the show the staggering numbers that the Thunder are doing offensively and defensively versus what the Spurs are doing offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Look, everybody who's listening in right now, OKC in today's modern NBA, going into tonight's contest, are holding teams to 95 points per game.
Yeah.
That's it. The Spurs are allowing about 115, 118 a game. I think that's your ball game right now. Just the defensive side of things, OKC can bring it. Even if Wemby, is the Wemby that we all know and love, I still don't think he'll be enough because in the last game, Harrison Barnes was not on, Champagnie was not on, Malachi and Wesley, they came on late, but he needs consistent help, and that's not here yet.
Is it possible, Jeff? I'm going to ask you the question point blank, put you on the hot seat. Is it possible that this Spurs team just ain't all that, man? Like they're going to be good enough to compete a little bit here, a little bit more than they were last year?
Yeah. I'm with you there. Are they going to be more competitive than last year? Sure, but look at the bar set so low, Joe. The bar
23
is so
wins,
low.
22 wins,
22 wins. That's it. Yeah. So think about it. A measure of success for the Spurs. Let's just say they win, making a number up, 32.
Right.
Yeah.
Technically, that's progress. That's a 10-win jump. So the bar set's so low. But I look, it's going to be fun to watch Wemby and Chet. And by the way, Chet is having a phenomenal start.
I don't know. Mike called Wemby washed. I don't know if you heard that.
What?
No.
Why are you putting words in my mouth?
He said that Wemby isn't all that.
When did you say this?
I never said any of that.
He's like, Wemby's not a good player.
Dude,
in the beginning.
For real?
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
He's not a very good player. He says that.
This is like Jeff. This is like Jeff on his Twitter account just making shit up.
No, I'm telling you, dead serious. We got the tape. He said, is it
say?
Possible that Wemby is not a superstar?
No, I said.
You said that.
I did not say that.
You said he's not a superstar. He's an all-star.
I said, is it possible that he's like Giannis? Is it possible that his cap is like Giannis, where he makes a couple of MVPs?
Yeah.
And my question is to you, Jeff, and don't put that on me because that's bullshit. It's bullshit.
You said he was an all-star, not a superstar.
I said right now he's an all-star, not a superstar, and I questioned whether or not he was going to be a GOAT. I think that is a legitimate question to ask. Is the question, was he hyped up? He's going to be an all-star. He might as well be Defensive Player of the Year. But the question that I have is Victor Wembanyama maybe, just maybe, simply a good all-star? I mean, an all-NBA first team, all-NBA second team guy. That's different than saying that he's the next Shaq, or he's the next Duncan, or he's the next top 10 player of all time.
Yeah. Hall of Famer.
I said he's destined to be a top 50 player of all time. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. His jersey on the rafters. My question is he really that guy that is going to be the quote unquote generational talent, or is he simply Giannis, Embiid? Is he simply just another all-star in a league of other all-stars? That was what I posed the question, and I did say he's a top 20 player in the NBA this year. So don't say that I said he sucked or said that he was washed.
Jason Garcia says he stutters when he lies.
Choke on your lies, bitch. So no, I get heated with that because I don't want people to, because you know what? It's funny because sometimes Jeff will throw out there something out there that I said something like this, that, and
We
the
got
other.
the tape,
And
though.
it's all, then fucking find it then, dude.
We'll put it
Then
out.
fucking find it. It's out there. It's not there. Go
It's
fucking
there.
find it.
Moving the goalpost.
Moving the goalposts. Moving the goalposts. Making shit up. Okay.
No, it's
So-
there.
so-
I'm gonna get the tape.
Go find it.
We're
Go
gonna
find,
have fun with
Go
it.
find it. Go.
You heard it here
What is it
first.
called, Joe? With deep fake?
Oh,
Is that what it is?
God,
Where
it's not
Why-
even
why-
a
why-
deep. I don't need to do that.
But you know what? So Jeff, isn't that the nightmare scenario for Spurs fans? That Victor Wembanyama is just simply an all-star. Isn't that the nightmare?
I mean,
Because we were
mean,
sold
yeah.
that he's generational talent, right?
yeah, but again, we're just year 2, so we got to see how this plays out too. Also too, what's gonna happen when he gets more help? Once
Dude, I don't see the Spurs getting more help. Wait, it's been a fucking decade. Sorry, man. Joe got me riled up, dude. Sorry, Jeff. That wasn't towards you, man. Like Brian Wright's gonna bring somebody in here. Seriously, we're gonna build through the draft. Brian Wright doesn't have the balls to bring somebody in. It's just it, man. He doesn't want to give up 5 or 6 picks. He doesn't want to put his job on the line.
No,
That's basically it.
What is it? That saying
Jimenez
goes,
on
if it
fire
ain't-
today.
if it ain't right, it's wrong.
Dude, you got all these picks, right? Want to go get Marketing? No. Want to go get Trae Young? No.
What did he get you?
Nothing yet. We
CP3.
we traded
CP3.
CP3, who, by the
Harrison
way,
Barnes.
can't guard anybody out there.
Oh no.
And so okay, so Jeff, let's reel it back in
Yes.
because you guys got
No,
me
you need to
riled up.
reel it back in.
You got-
Yeah,
you got-
you got
got riled back
to reel it in.
Jeff, people got a little bit upset when I started posting stats of Jeremy Sohan last night on Twitter.
God.
You
But
retweeted.
did you see what Leha said? Your next stat's gonna be he's like 31% from the HEB zone, and that's uncalled for.
Okay, so basically, we were asking the question because I sang his praises. I was on Lockdown Spurs today. It dropped on YouTube, right? It's already
Yeah.
out. So after the podcast, you can go listen to Lockdown Spurs. Did I or did I not give Jeremy Sohan his flowers?
You did.
Okay, so upon a deep dive, and I gave flowers for a variety of different reasons, right? One
you
is
did.
I did mention the fact that he was the only starter who came out with fire in Monday night's game. He was the only one matching the intensity of the Rockets players, of the starters. Branham did as well, and Zach Collins did as well. But out of all the starters, Sohan was the only one ready to play. So I will give him his flowers for that, right? But people start coming at me because you posted that thing on Twitter yesterday about how he could be in the running for most improved player, right?
Oh, I did it. I didn't do that.
Okay, well, somebody posted that.
Somebody did. Yeah.
And you might have retweeted it or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, he's so much better at shooting. And I posted the stats of Jeremy Sohan shooting. He's shooting 25% from beyond 4 feet.
But that's the thing. Like the moment anybody posts something positive, you'll see I can find something negative about it. So Sohan could be, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. Yeah, but you see his EFG. Let's take a look at that. You can come to that.
It's your favorite stat.
So
man.
here's the stats, Joe. I have it on the screen, Joe.
Let's see.
Less than 5 feet. This is according to ESPN.com and NBA.com. So 4 feet and in, Jeremy Sohan is shooting 19 of 28 for 67.9%. Everything outside of 5 feet, from 5 feet and beyond, shooting 25%. 1 of 3 from 25 and beyond. He's shooting 1 of 8 from 5 to 9 feet, Jeff.
Well, I did talk to him about his shooting in the first Houston game. In that first Houston game, he went 8 for 14 from the field. Yes, but 95% of that was in the paint or the rim.
Yeah, I don't mind
he was honest about it. He did say that it's still a work in progress. So he even said it himself when he was talking to me. He goes, "Hey, look, every day it's not going to be good." So he's acknowledging it, and I think that's good. And look, at this point, I think you just gotta accept it. He's probably not going to be another Steph Curry or Dale Ellis.
Dale Ellis.
Yeah. or Craig Hodges. He ain't gonna do that. Be that. But my thing with him is I just want him to get it's a little pop shot, just a little pop shot. I'll be good about that. Just something where he can be somewhat of a threat on the pick and roll, and he'll be good. But look, even if he's not connecting on his shots, as we're seeing right now, his perimeter shooting, he's there. He's probably 1-2 best player of the roster right now.
And again, I enjoy the activity that he has out there. I enjoy the fact that he's crashing the boards.
You like his motor?
He's showing a great motor. He is showing that he's matching the intensity, because Spurs went and got that win Saturday night, right? It was like the opposite of what happened. They got out to the big lead and then they held on. This other game, the Rockets got out to the big lead and held on. Zach Collins brought some intensity, which is weird. Zach is playing good this year. He's matching some intensity
till he gets injured.
Malachi Branham brought some intensity, but it was so weird seeing CP3, Barnes, seeing Wemby come out with no fire whatsoever in Monday night's game. None. They were bullied around the court, and the only one doing anything about it was Sohan. So I will give him his flowers for that, because that is what it is. Sohan going 19 for 28 from inside 4 feet. Love it. That's all I've asked of him forever. I don't want him shooting threes anymore, and he's actually stopped shooting threes. The one that he did shoot on Monday night was so ugly that my nephew and I looked at each other, went, ew.
Who was that? Jeremy?
Sohan 3-point attempt. He had 1 3-point attempt. It looked so ugly.
Did he hit rim?
Barely. I hit rim. It hit rim.
No, because sometimes they'll have ugly shots and they just clang off the rim, like a laser.
It wasn't a Sean Marion ugly 3-point attempt that might go in.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
there was a hitch to it. It looked like
a curveball.
Well, his arm went to the left, like instead of just going up and then shooting form, he went left, right, back to the middle, and then forward.
He kind of looked like
ugly.
Elaine dancing.
It looked like Elaine dancing on Seinfeld. That's what his 3-point shooting looks like. He has that hitch. He has that hitch.
Oh God. The Seinfeld 3-pointer, bro.
Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5. Tell me about the Chet Holmgren, man. Tell me about how well Chet's been playing, because I think people kind of took him for granted there a little bit, because Wemby ran away and was the unanimous MVP or Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Tell me about what Chet's doing.
Yeah, averaging about 23 points per game, just being very aggressive to the rim. It looks like he also added some size in the offseason. So I think he and Shea, they're averaging over 20 points per game. And that Thunder team is just loaded. I believe they have 5 players averaging double figures already. So yeah, the Spurs are going to have themselves some headaches tonight. I'm not anticipating the Spurs win. I'll be happy if they test OKC to the limit. That'd be fine with me. But we'll see. We'll see. This is the first Spurs extended road series right now. They got OKC, Utah. I think they're not back in San Antonio until a week from Saturday.
Chet Holmgren not only averaging 23 points per game, but also 13 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 3 assists. I mean, that guy is on track. We're talking about who's going to be an all-star, Wemby or Holmgren or both. Right now, Holmgren stats are outdoing Wemby stats right now. Wemby seemed to be very hesitant in the last game. You were talking to me the other day about how Wemby was under the weather. Do you really think that was something there?
That's possible. I think that could have affected him. Yeah, he was visibly, red-eyed. He was sniffing a lot. It looked like he was crying. But he was like, no. He goes, I'm fine. It's just allergies right now. Look, he's telling the truth. Remember last year he got hit with allergies pretty bad. And we had to do his press conference inside the locker room at his locker. That's how down he was physically. So, but look, who knows? Maybe this matchup tonight versus Chet will ignite him and he'll be doing those monster numbers again. But think about it. Even though he's considered having a down start to the season, he's putting up double-figure scoring. He got 20 rebounds in the loss versus Houston. I think he did 14 and 20. He had 24, 25 in that first meeting with Houston, and then in the debut against Dallas, I think he had 14 or 15.
Yeah,
or 17.
So Wemby's averaging 20 points on the season, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 assists. We have a $10 super chat coming in from the Drew Show. Thank you so much for supporting the show, Drew. You always do. Says, quote, Sohan will never be a just below average shooter because Pop in the front office let Chip Engelland walk. Call it out. There's a reason why OKC shoots well and Sohan has a hitch in season 3. Never would have happened if Chip was here. Talk about Chip Engelland, who was also known as the shooting doctor, who helped Tony develop a good shot, who helped Manu develop a shot. Chip Engelland now with the Oklahoma City Thunder and part of that coaching staff. That's got to be a big boost to a lot of these guys at OKC. And that I don't think, Jeff, that Spurs fans understand how big of a loss that was, losing Chip Engelland.
You also got to think of this too, guys. I've been hearing a lot of the single word chemistry, and that was starting to pop up at the end of the preseason. Chris Paul brought it up. Barnes brought it up. Wemby brought it up in the last game versus Houston. So I think this is a situation where you look back at the preseason and them not playing together, at least for those 5-6 games, may be impacting them right now. Wemby going to play 2 preseason games. So there's that rhythm flow they got to get used to again. And I think things will settle down once Devin gets in, not necessarily just because of the impact on the court, just you'll have a rotation. You'll have Champagnie perhaps fitting better coming off the bench.
Yeah, we also had a 199 super chat coming in here from Midtown, Texas. And he was saying that I got Mike pissed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I challenge anybody on the stream to go back to all the podcasts we have.
It was earlier this
and
week.
say that I said that Wemby was washed. The only people I said was washed was probably Chris Paul, because he kind of is. Well, we're taking a look around the association right now. The Bulls and the Hawks are 2-2 on the season. Spurs have the possibility of getting both of their first-round draft picks. Hawks is unprotected, so we got theirs. Bulls needs to be in the top, outside the top 10 for us to get it. We also have Charlotte. So Charlotte right now is a 1-2. Would actually be in the play-in in the East, because the East is kind of weak right now. If you look in the Western Conference, there are 12 teams out of 15 that are 2-2 or better. Yeah. There's a lot of quality teams out there. Spurs are the 13th best team in the West with a 1-2 record. The only 2 teams that are below the Spurs are the Portland Trail Blazers and Utah Jazz. Spurs again with Oklahoma City. The stat that you showed, Jeff. Yeah.
Are you taking the over, the under, of the spread tonight?
Spurs are going to get blown out.
So you're expecting destruction tonight?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look at it this way. You mentioned the stat, Jeff. Oklahoma City gives up 95 points per game.
That's it. And
the second best team in the NBA is at 102. 7-point difference between first place and second place. First top defense and second top defense. Who's going to guard SGA? Who's going to
Steph Castle?
You have to.
Yeah.
Because they ain't going to be Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a turnstile, dude. He cannot guard anybody anymore. It's a bad matchup for the Spurs because the Thunder have not only SGA, but they have Jalen Williams. They've got a lot of really good players there that it's just kind of like pick or poison. Yeah. Jalen Williams averaging 19 points per game. Dort averaging 10 points per game. Chet averaging 24. SGA 29. I mean, it's just like pick your poison.
Look at JHNSB. He says he's going to be depressed if Chet owns Wemby this game. It might happen.
It could happen.
Yeah.
But we've seen also the fact that the Spurs just aren't running down the 3-point line at all for anything.
Uncontested threes.
It's so bad. It's so bad. We went over the numbers on Lockdown Spurs, which is out already. But even at halftime in the second Houston game, Houston was connecting about 40% of their 3 shots at halftime. So, the Spurs can't make threes and they can't defend the 3. And that's something that I saw coming a mile away, leading into the new season. I told it to you, Joe. I told it to you, Jimenez, on Los or here. I say, like, man, do they have reliable 3-point shooters?
Nope.
Do they have guys that can hit them? Okay, yeah, Malachi came on. Wemby, yeah, once in a while. Devin, same thing. But Champagny was hot to start, so I think, okay, well, maybe he's the go-to three shot shooter. He kind of fizzled out versus Houston, but again, you gotta see how it plays out. I mean, just we only got 3 games under the belt right now. I would like to revisit this a month and a half in. Then we can be like, all right,
come the end of November.
Up. Yeah, end of November we could be like, yeah, okay, let's see if this defense is horrible. Yeah, Chris Paul really is a turnstile, as Jimenez says. Wemby's off.
Yeah, we had a $2 super chat incoming from the Drew Show again. He was just saying that the Spurs letting Chip walk in this era is malfeasance. That they dropped the bag when they let him go. Because now you can see that the Spurs and their shot is just not quite what it used to be. And they try to work with people like Sohan, but I guarantee you, if Chip was here, I bet you that shot wouldn't look so bad. It looked like a lane shooting a 3-pointer.
Dude, that made me laugh so hard. That brought my blood pressure back down. Joe,
what happened?
When Joe pissed me off earlier, and then he's talking about how Sohan's 3-point attempt looks like Elaine from Seinfeld dancing.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
Beyond the 3.
Hey, but the Spurs have a road game tomorrow, so it's back to back. The Spurs have a game tomorrow at Utah. That is a very winnable game over the Delta Center. 8:00 tip off. So just leave the candy outside and go watch the game. Right, that's going to be on Fox Sports Southwest.
One candy per child. It's gonna be gone. Jeff, I know you're against the clock, man. Let us know when you got to bounce.
Yeah, I got to bounce already, guys. Yeah, I got a meeting here. Yeah, starting in about a couple minutes. But Jimenez and I, we're out today. Lockdown Spurs. It's out right now. Go to the YouTube side of things. Just go to Lockdown Spurs, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And then nobody should be surprised that I asked Wemby about his Chewbacca sneakers in a press conference. Nobody better not be surprised. Nobody. Yeah. So the scene was loss versus Houston. Wemby's under the weather. Spurs were getting clubbed until they made the comeback. Wemby comes out. Everybody's talking about the game. But my last question before it transitioned to the French media was, so Wemby, you got Chewbacca shoes. So once the conference was over, I looked at the entire meeting room and I was like, nobody in this room should be surprised. I asked. Nobody should be surprised. I had one guy from KSAT, the cameraman. I thought he was laughing at me because I asked that question. And then I go, you laughing at me? He goes, no, because I'm smiling and laughing because I want a pair of those shoes. So, but it's out right now. I had a little quick chat with Wemby about his sneakers. They should be out on KENS5.com/Spurs shortly.
Very nice. That's Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs and KENS 5. Subscribe wherever you get podcasts. I do on Spotify, and I also subscribe on YouTube as well. Jeff, thank you so much for being on today, my man.
Thanks,
Jeff. Sir. Later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jeff, Joe.
Yeah.
We got to talk about what happened at the World Series, dude. There's a reason why people hate Yankee fans, right? The Yankees won Game 4 to extend the series. It was going to be a sweep, or at least it had the opportunity of that. But the Yankees fans went after Mookie Betts. And seeing video or photos here of these fans, Mookie Betts had caught a ball. The fans tried ripping the glove off of his hand and ultimately ripped the ball out of the glove. Still was called an out. But Joe, should it be more than just ejected from this game?
Oh man, it was rough to watch, man. The way that they manhandled him, dude. It was a blatant fan interference, no doubt. You could see that a mile away. And I have the video of it actually too, because I put it out there on the X, and there's the aftermath of what happened afterwards when these guys were acting a fool. And we'll show this because this is going to be what happened in real time. So there it is, right? Fans interfering, holding his glove. The other one comes and holds the other hand so he can't pull the ball out and throw it. And there you go. Right? They're proud of themselves, man.
Shouldn't they be arrested?
Oh, but look at what happened, right? This is from another angle. you're seeing what happened, right? All right, they're holding his arm and all that, pulling the ball out. The guy could clearly caught it, but afterwards they have the aftermath of what happened with these guys. And what happened is that they got asked to leave by security. So here it is. The same two guys. This guy right here and his buddy. Security telling them, y'all got to go. So they had no impact on the game other than just them getting thrown out.
And by the way, imagine spending all that money to go watch the World Series and they get thrown out of the game in the bottom of the first.
Cheapest ticket was what, like $1,100 or $1,300 to get in?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money you're paying for your ticket to be asked to leave.
Drew Show says assault. It kind of is. I mean, what's the difference between them doing that and me going to a Spurs game, being in the front row and grabbing a Spur by the jersey or grabbing a Rockets player by the jersey? What's the difference?
Yeah, or running on the court. Oh, and speaking of which, we're gonna have a story, man. I think I'm gonna get my boy Fernandez to be the guest on Area 210. Yeah. He's gonna share a story of what happened to him at the Spurs game on this past Saturday when they played the Rockets.
Yeah.
Interesting story there, man. It wasn't a tall tale. This is something that actually happened, and it might make Spurs fans think twice about live tweeting during a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Something weird happened.
Okay. I wanted to get a photo on Wednesday, last game, Monday's game against the Rockets. I was thinking about Fernandez because, Fernandez gets photos with all the celebrities, right?
Oh, yeah. He's the right place, the right time.
I wanted to get a photo with Vince Young. VY was in the house in the front row of the Spurs Rockets game on Monday night. And they showed a highlight of him scoring the game-winning touchdown, 2005 national championship against USC. And people were like, why are they showing this highlight? Everyone started cheering. 20 years later, everyone's cheering.
Yeah.
But then they showed the face of Vince Young, in Longhorns gear in the middle, right behind the basket. It was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, man.
It was pretty cool. Let's talk some entertainment news. Well, it's not so much entertainment. I found this to be an interesting story.
All right, we'll do the bump.
So we go to sports bars a lot, Joe.
Jeez.
We've gone to Twin Peaks, we've gone to Hooters, we've gone to various places over the years, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's for a bunch of dudes to go over there to watch sports and things like that. But there's a bar in Austin. You want to show my screen here?
There you are.
That is a sports bar, but they don't show sports. It's called the Dainty Dillo. And it's for women to go watch. Well, it's for anybody, but mostly women to go watch reality TV. So they play The Bachelor, they play The Bachelorette, they play Real Housewives on the big screen. They even have fantasy games that are being played there of the show. And it's a sports bar that got converted into a reality TV show bar. Only in Austin, Joe.
That's crazy, man. I bet you they're doing good business, though.
Oh, I bet you they are. And I bet you the guys that are saying, oh, I'd never go to that. Dude, the guy to girl ratio or the girl to guy ratio has got to be pretty good.
Yeah. But I wonder how many of these women that are going are actually like spoken for, have husbands and stuff,
Going to the big screen. Did you see what happened in last night's game? What game did you watch? The Bachelorette.
Yeah. It's like, that's what I'm watching. The Bachelorette. Or was it called Basketball Housewives or something like that, man? I never watch those shows, man. I never get into any of that stuff, dude. I'm always watching sports.
The only one that I really got into, I got into reality shows like American Idol back in the day with Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood was winning back in the day. Back in the day, The Real World in the 90s when that first came out.
Good.
True story. First 3 seasons, when you had the New York one. Why do you have a pager? Are you a drug dealer? Remember that whole controversy about race?
Yeah.
San Francisco had Pedro, who was the gay guy with HIV.
Yeah.
Then you had one in Austin, I believe.
I think it was in Austin. You had one in New Orleans, which had the Miz
Yeah,
doing his thing
The
back
Miz,
then.
back in the day.
But I think it was, cool in the beginning because they would get all these people that would never mingle in real life, right? And they get all these strangers and put them in together to live under one roof, as it says in the intro,
yeah,
and see the aftermath that unfolds because you're getting these different personalities and people, to them, they say things and it's not offensive. And then the other people are like, what you're saying is very offensive. Let me educate you. And that's where you get arguments and all this, made for TV drama that came out.
Yeah. I mean, I did get into that one about the soccer players
Yeah.
that were trying to look for love in California, that they're famous in England, but no one knows who they are over here.
Oh, okay.
That one was pretty cool. That was on Peacock. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, we were talking about Bill Belichick and how Bill Belichick is in his 70s and his girlfriend's like 24. It's like a 50-year age difference.
Yeah, man.
Did you see on TMZ Sports Bill Belichick's ex-wife, what she wore for Halloween at an event a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Got a
let's
photo
see
right
it.
here. His ex, her name is Linda Holiday, wore a Kill Bill Uma Thurman outfit. Kill Bill. Do you think that maybe she did that on purpose? Her ex-husband being Bill Belichick. Kill Bill. I like it. I like it a lot. The bride yellow getup that is pretty iconic. I found that to be funny, dude.
Yeah, old Bill, man. Dirty Bill. Old Dirty Bill. He went and said, you know what? It's time for me to get an upgrade. He goes, this car has got too many miles on it.
Too many miles on the odometer.
Yep, too many miles.
Joe, Halloween, it's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Halloween is used to be my favorite holiday, dude.
Not anymore.
Growing up, I used to love Halloween. To me was better than Christmas. And being a dad, that was great. You'd go out there, you'd go with your kid, go trick-or-treating and stuff like that. Gabby's in her 20s now, and she's doing her thing out in Louisiana. My daughter, Ava, is now more into her friends than anything else. I'm now divorcing her mom and all that stuff. So, like the Halloween aspect of my life is like gone.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's going to be kind of a difficult day for me. I mean, it was difficult last Halloween as well. But when I say it's difficult, I'm not going to sit there crying in fetal position, but it's just one of those things where that is part of like my life that just probably won't exist again until I get grandkids.
True enough.
But for those of you who are out there on Halloween, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be watching the Spurs game. I always go to a bar.
Maybe on a Thursday.
Watch
So
the Spurs.
Thursday night football.
The
NBA.
Texans are playing Thursday night
Yeah.
football. Go hit up a bar and just go do that instead.
Go in costume. You go to Stout House.
Well, I have my old costumes, man. And, I can go get some costumes, and I have old ones that I could wear.
Just go as a referee.
That's true.
You already got the outfit.
Speaking of which, tonight I'm refereeing. After this, I got to go to a store called Ump Junk, which is on 1604 and kind of by the rim.
Yeah.
I have my uniform, and I washed my uniform. One of the parts of the uniform is my jacket, and my jacket, the zipper came undone in the dryer. So I have to go buy a new jacket. I went there yesterday, and they said, "Oh, well, they're coming in today."
Fix the
So I
zipper.
paid for it. No, it's trash.
Jack.
It's jacked up, man.
Damn.
So I got to go get a new jacket. But the jacket looks nice. It's a different. The jacket actually looks like something I could wear out and about, whereas the old version of the jacket was kind of just ghetto. But tonight I've got Canyon against O'Connor, girls varsity and girls JV. Looking
There
forward
you
to
go.
it, man.
Oh, one thing that we haven't done is we haven't really given any love to any of our sponsors. So I think we need to do that right now.
Oh yeah, MCS General Contracting and
Yep.
Jeff Garcia.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Diamond Heart Concrete, man, they do a fantastic job doing what they do. Like I said, I say it all the time. I'm a client of theirs, and I'll probably use them again. Concrete slabs, if you for a house, for a business, parking lot, basketball court, swimming pool, they do it all, baby.
Yeah, you name it.
ADA compliant also, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and they powered the chat.
Yep. 210-774-9155. If you want to get a hold of MCS General Contracting, Chris Leha, big supporter of the show from the get-go. Don't forget to subscribe to Lockdown Spurs, a daily podcast of your Spurs coverage. I'm today's guest.
Yeah, you are.
Talking about Jeremy Sohan, talking about the improvement of parts of the team. We're going over the three things that have caught our eye this season so far in 3 games for the Spurs. We'll get into that. Lockdown Spurs, the podcast has already dropped. And don't forget also to give me some love. I do finance, investments, insurances, 210-508-0369. I currently manage $16 million in retirement assets. Love doing what I do. If you have an old 401k, old IRA, old annuity, come out to me. I can help you when it comes to that. I can help put together a portfolio for you. If you have questions about life insurance or disability or long-term care, you can do that as well. Believe it or not, Joe, people have reached out to me. Through this podcast, people reached out to me through my old radio show to become clients, and they find it funny because when they meet with me, they think that I'm like gonna be the Sohan basher, Demon Mike, but like
I'm all business.
I'm all business. We're doing business over here. Tony Ronaldo's reminding everybody to hit the love button, Necios. That's right. Hit the love button, the like button, and show us some love. It helps with our algorithm when it comes to it all.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give Jeff some love too, because we really haven't played his video, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go ahead and do that. Lockdown Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for KENS 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Lockdown Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on threads at JeffGKens5SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at JeffGSpursZone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow, not only on threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Lockdown Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. I'm today's guest on Lockdown Spurs with Jeff Garcia, as we just chop it up talking about the Spurs and about the last game against the Rockets, the 3 things that were taken away of the Spurs season so far.
And I heard you said some nice things about Sohan. That's what Jeff was
kind of
advertising.
I mean, flowers are due, when it comes to certain things, and
it's early though, Mike.
I respect the fire that Sohan brings to the table,
but it's still early
because he has the energy to disrupt and get rebounds, get the 50-50 balls, play good defense. He's never going to be a shooter.
He can't shoot the 3 to save his life, man.
He's never going to be a shooter. And people all day yesterday were trying to reach out to me saying, well, he's obviously a shooter, Michael, because look at his EFG. And I'm thankful that it's at 55%, which is where it should be.
Yeah.
But then you break it down. And I call those stats up by saying the reason why he's shooting 55%, his EFG is 55%, it's because he's making buckets between inside 4 feet.
There might be something for you to look at the stat. I know Jeff can help you out here. If you look at his shot chart, right? And it'll show you over the last game or, so many games where his shot selection has been from. That might actually substantiate your claim and stating, hey, this is how he's getting this EFG percentage up, because a lot of his shots are coming from inside that paint area,
Now, last year, here's the thing, though, Joe. It's just easy math.
Yeah.
Last year, Jeremy Sohan shot just under 33% outside of 5 feet. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're shooting worse than you were the year before from outside of 5 feet, but your effective field goal percentage is up and your shooting percentage is up, it's because disproportionately you're shooting more inside. And that's a good thing, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him shoot outside of 20 feet, 15 feet ever again. Just don't ever want to see it. That shot that he did, we all did this. Kind of like Friday. Damn. We looked over and we were like, what the hell was that? You mentioned Elaine dancing. This is a normal 3-point attempt. He did this and shot it. And that was with nobody guarding him.
Was it uncontested 3?
You know, like people use the nunchucks.
Oh man.
Right? That's what he was doing with the ball. It was the ugliest looking 3-point shot I've seen this year.
Man.
It hasn't gotten better.
Yeah, you know, one thing that we need to give some love to as well. We need to let Spur fan know and our fans know that we do have a party coming up on Saturday.
Yes,
it's going to be at Halftime Pizza at the Tesla location, which is at 7126 Tesla Road. We're celebrating the 1K. You know, us reaching 1K on our YouTube channel.
And we're gonna have multiple parties when it comes to all this because I want to host one as well. What's it called? So we'll do that
at
one.
The,
as well.
Was it at the
Spurs Club,
the Rock?
At the Rock at Lock and Terror.
The Rock. We'll do that there too.
And we'll you know this is for Spurs fans and
our fans
of the show as well. But we're trying to get things all organized. I'm trying to get a second party involved as well, so we can do it in different locations.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. But
we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna celebrate the 1K, and we're gonna do the party. It's kind of like a watch party too, because the Spurs are gonna be playing that day on November the 2nd. It's gonna start at 6:00. We're gonna have some giveaways, and it's family friendly, so you can bring the kids, the wife, and we're just trying to help Halftime Pizza because right now they could use a little bit of the community's help. They had to close one of their locations. Want to give them some love, so if you can, we'd appreciate if you can come out, maybe say hi and watch the game with us for a bit, have some good food.
Very nice. Who's saying? Matt Gomez is saying perfect tender. What is perfect tender? Hot wings on Babcock. Huh. All right. I'll give them a look.
Yeah, definitely give them a look.
I'll give them a look. Everyone have a fantastic day. I got to head on over to the office for the rest of the day. Everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to Jeff Garcia for being on the show. And we will be on tomorrow. Go Spurs, go.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.